everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the hands behind Lovecraft Crochet. My plushies are for the anxious, depressed, autistic, and neurodivergent. Small enough to travel in a purse, backpack, diaper bag, or even your pocket. You can check out my Facebook page or TikTok to see what patterns are available and stay tuned for the new ones coming out. I also make hats, scarves, blankets, and dice bags for the tabletop gamer or dice goblin in your life. Feel free to order through the page, TikTok DMs, or via email at love.craft.crochet@gmail.com. Now, on to the segment.
Oh, welcome to us having a noodle time.
Let's not call it a noodle, but like me saying, hey, let's just noodle, that's not the same as let's have a noodle time. But hello, and welcome to some bonus episode. Why? Well, because it seems like every other episode I have turned around and said, hey, let's have a bonus. This would make a really good bonus episode.
Topic, and we seem to forget about what that topic is.
We keep going with, let's just continue the show as is, and let's not branch off into bonus content or stuff like that. Although, if you'd like bonus content, the more patrons we have, right now we are at
0.
0's not a good number. It's not a number, in fact. It's actually the placeholder for nothingness.
It's the portal between positive and negativity.
That's my bed. But, so, let's chill out, relax, smoke them if you've got them. We're being very good.
We have been very well. Our last bought cartons. Last carton bought was May 8th. We've broken down a handful here and there for other things, but we've been doing really good.
What do you mean we, meatbag? But anyways, no. So let's talk bonus episodes, and this might be multiple bonus episodes or something, just to ease Sam up, because she has been phenomenal. I just want to say this off the bat. No, this isn't going to be the topic. I'm not just gonna fluff you up and be like, you're so amazing for the next half hour, however long we have these. But I do want to say that Sam is on Notebook 3, and we're talking full standard size, 200 page.
I don't think they're 200 pages. I
don't know. Look at it. It's right next to you. I got one right next to me too. Oh, I'm sorry. 70 sheets, wide ruled, one subject, spiral notebooks. Your standard Dollar Tree buy.
Yeah.
Although I think we bought these bulk Walmart for 78 cents.
No, that was when they were on sale for a nickel. Because I bought 100 for $5.
And Frankie is currently
lounging on the floor, letting us know that she's here with us.
And letting you know she's here with us.
Yes.
But anyways, I do want to say that Sam has been doing phenomenal. We have 140 pages, roughly. Let's say they average out to, because she writes front to back, or both sides of the page, I mean. So, all the stuff you've seen, they are physically handwritten by my stoner wonderful sister. I know I've brought that up before, but it is phenomenal. And the second we get to 100 patrons, I haven't talked to Sam about this, might be cut, she's the one who does the editing. We are actually going to auction off. We are either going to auction off one of the actual notebooks, or we're going to do PDF printouts of scanned,
Where you can play the home game of what is the stoner writing.
And wow, AJ actually deciphered that into a coherent sentence structure.
Well, you got to remember though that this is I label them rough drafts. These are the first drafts of me writing, and I realize that the more I get into it, that like a couple episodes ago where I completely forgot to put in the victim's name in the sentence, and I reread the sentence 3 times before it dawned on me I forgot her name. So here's me putting her name is this because I'm a bad stoner, and I put it in there writing because if I do go back through and rewrite these into full on
many pages, like if you and this is what I love about our podcast, and what I like about this specifically is these are supposed to be quickies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You brought up, I think it was even for because I believe that was the lesser one, wasn't it?
Yes.
With Dorothea Pierce is the person's name you forgot, and I probably will never forget it now. But you shouted out
True Crime New England.
True Crime New England. And that's ultimately something that I really like, is that, because Criminal had episodes on some of the ones we've done. Morbid's had.
Morbid, Criminal, True Crime Garage.
I actually I think it might have been True Crime Garage, because I believe I sent you the Boys on the Track one for them.
Yes, I've listened to.
Because it was like a 3-parter that I really liked.
Because I
learned things from that, but I haven't looked at the
what
case.
started me into the podcast, looking in podcasts, was the Boys on the Tracks. That particular case has always been with me since I watched it on Unsolved Mysteries. It is one that it makes no sense, and the cops are hiding shit.
And then you actually hear, the people who do the full deep dives into it, where it's here's an hour and a half, part 1 of here's why the fucking medical examiner is fucking. Sorry for the swearing. My mommy doesn't like it when I swear. She told me about that. I love that. Okay, this one might actually just turn into us talking about our show for a while.
Let's do it. We haven't done it, and you know what? We'll throw this up.
It'll be a fun thing for all of y'all people to know when we recorded this. But, no, it was The Vampire Rapist. Which, for whatever reason, Megan, our wonderful producer, Megan, Retrostat, RSR Studios, I believe is what, or Retrostatic Studios, we're still we're still noodling on the name of what we're calling the network. But, she messages me to be like, I can't even remember what it was. I think it was just on the fact that, she was listening to it and she was saying how great it felt that we were growing. Because honestly, our first few episodes, they are rough. They are rough. Learning. And then you get episodes like the Thuggy one, which I will go on record right now and say...
AJ did not want me to actually air that one, guys. So if you enjoyed the Thuggy episode, let us know.
And if you thought that we should have fucking Jacques Cousteau that shit, we should have put it in a box, tossed it in the ocean, and fucking just forgot it existed, let us know too.
Yes.
I would like validation, because I felt that I was a little bit more...
unprepared than normal.
But that's because you had nothing in that script.
There was nothing there, guys. I'm sorry, but we worked it out.
So I had to vamp. But anyway, so I loved the Vampire Rapist episode because Megan messaged me to be like, I'm listening to it, I can't believe you guys are talking about what is it like if we actually just
bit into a boob.
Not like, because, Carrie's our famous boob biters. But, what would it be like, because it is a fatty tissue. That's not the point.
But the point, that was...
and then all of a sudden, while I'm talking to Megan about the episode, all of a sudden my mother calls me to explain to me the history of American Express. And then I had another friend who was...
My best was my wife going, you totally missed out on, how silicone boob would taste. I'm like, are you kidding me here?
You're not supposed to...
I'm like, wait, you're listening to us? She goes, yeah, I was listening to you today. Oh, okay.
Apparently that was just the episode everyone decided to listen to us on. Because another friend of mine, Lindsay, messages me to be like, why the hell is it called The Vampire Rape? Does he rape vampires? You should actually listen. Finish the episode. I think I make that joke at the end.
You do. Because the next thing is Say Goodnight, Gracie.
And it's one of those things where it's like, I like when our episodes... there's a lot of episodes we do that they fire on all cylinders. I think works amazingly well.
And yet... those are the ones that we don't get the messages to go ask us questions about.
I didn't even remember The Vampire Rapist until my phone popped up saying I was downloading an episode. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's Wednesday. By the way, I love our upload schedule because it reminds me of what day it is.
I have to say I enjoy that myself because I like knowing it's Wednesday when I pop up going, oh look, we have us. And then, oh, look, we have these people too. Yes, I get multiple updates on Wednesdays.
Well, Tuesdays is Retro Static Radio updates. Wednesdays is...
The K15 update.
And Thursdays or Fridays, I can't even remember what days I picked anymore, are the Reader's History of Comics ones.
I think Thursdays.
Those are the 3 current shows out for RSR.
Yep. And I listen to Reader's History of Comics to write, and I was able to blow through finish off the last notebook just with him listening to Guardians of the Galaxies.
The original Guardians of the Galaxy. That's not the one with Star-Lord. That's the one with Vance Astro. Though Yondu is in it. So that's a fun little thing.
That's sad.
See, but Sammy's sad she ran out of drinkies.
Yeah, it's true.
I do need... Oh, no, I got a Mountain Dew downstairs. But anyways.
I've already had 2 of those today.
Mountain Dew?
Yeah. When I'm at the farm, I can drink the Mountain Dew because Ron...
It's the same sort of thing of why you were drinking it when we were driving down to Tennessee the last time?
Yes, where it helps me stay awake. Coffee keeps me level.
Well, that's sort of...
But Mountain Dew, if we have coffee plus Mountain Dew, I can get...
You elevate.
I elevate. I'm able to focus.
That's actually something for me. It's like, I do drink coffee in the morning, but that just locks me into being...
alive.
Basically. And then that's why I would have, although I have cut back severely, I admit that I have fallen off the wagon a little bit, helping Dad as much as I have, with drinking Monster. I also got to try the Beast, that new alcoholic one, but it's not a Four Loko, like it's not...
No, they taste pretty good.
They're not bad.
They're not bad. I wish they had caffeine now.
I also wish that, but I also realized that one unlocks a childhood, like a core memory of wine cooler. Like, we're talking classic, like...
Classics.
It came in the faux champagne bottle, fucking late 90s wine coolers.
Yes.
But anywho, what were we talking about before that? Oh, right. So, yeah, Boys on the Track. Sorry, let's digress all the way back to... Boys on the Track was actually... Because I sent you the, I want to say the Crime Junkie or True Crime Garage.
True Crime Garage I listened to on them.
Because that was actually the first one that I found out about the cops seeing the boys in a pickup truck, or where they were being hassled by cops.
They were being hassled by cops,
like
yeah. I think that was True Crime Garage.
Because that was the first time I ever even heard about that, but I haven't looked into the case in, 10 to 20 years. Like,
no, it's been a while.
It's been in the back of my mind, but only insofar as I know the generals of it.
Right.
You know how they were gay kids on the track who smoked enough reefer
to
take a nap on a train track. And every stoner I know is like, but the woods are right there, man. There's non-graveled, non-bump-ass places to fall asleep if you're that stoned.
Yeah. Especially you'd go to the grass. I've been stoned enough where I've just laid in the grass going, this is nice, I live here now.
Or even, not even the grass, like the floor, the leaves on the ground are going to be squished, nice for the brain to be like, soft.
This is squishy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't understand, I never understood why they believe that the kids smoke that much weed that they would be able to sleep through a train.
Speaking of, we also do have on our Patreon a poll. Was it the first, when we get to 100, or...
I was hoping to have it where we would have enough votes to be able to do it for our 1-year anniversary.
Okay. Then that's generally the plan. Right now there is a poll up there for people who are even $1 and up, right? It is just as long as you are a patron, essentially.
Yes.
To be able to vote for, we want to do some big specials where it's like we actually cover big, like Ted Bundy. We don't want to do in the actual quickie format.
I'm going to do it in a quickie format, but I'm going to go a little bit further into it, give it a little bit. But not
going to be like multi-parters.
Yeah, it's going to be multi-parters. It'll almost
be like our Red Ripper one, except probably more.
More, but I won't go into as many like I do. Try not to go into details about the murders themselves.
Right.
Because
as much as we swear, we try not to be too explicit.
Yeah, no, swearing is one thing. Actually describing what some of these people do to murder to their victims, yeah. There's a reason why we have a lot of beige ones some days.
Yeah.
I've realized that when because I'll research first and then take a couple of days to see if I can get it into a quickie format. Then I start sitting there writing it in my head. I'll write it out beforehand, and then I'll go through and then have the information in front of me, whether it's Wikipedia or media or Murderpedia, where I have the information in front of me, and then I just start writing it so that I have the right dates and the right names.
Right.
Um,
No, if you write down the right names, that's a little
it is
different.
different. Hey! You know what? The Red Ripper I should have just stuck with the Red Ripper for the entire thing instead of trying to remember Chicoletto.
Chicoletta! Every time, all I think about is Paw Patrol. But that's what happens when you've got kids.
Especially when the 4-year-old's on a Paw Patrol kick. Did you know that Paw Patrol has another new movie coming out September 29th?
I do.
I do too, because he wants that movie.
Well, guess what? I actually really liked the Paw Patrol, the movie. The animation was great. The plot was actually really good. It has one of your favorite lines.
Green means go! Doesn't green mean go?
And it has one of my favorite jokes ever. Wow, how did you pay for this? Merchandising.
Merchandising.
Can keep them on the shelf. Love that joke. But anyways, and now that it's going to be the Mighty Pups,
Yes.
so the sheer fact that they get to do that on the theatrical budget
Yeah.
is going to look fucking stellar.
Yeah.
This is not a Paw Patrol thing. Anyways, that reminds me, I started listening to Two Bandits Talk About Bluey. It's two dads talking about... I like it. But anyways, honestly, I was not a real podcast person for a long time. Like, listening-wise, which I feel stupid about. You know, and then I started working at Burn, and then it turned into I needed something to hear, so I started. However, when you are a, third shift, only person working at the gas station or a convenience store person, listening to how many people actually turned around and went, and then during their murder spree, they shot the clerk, and it's like, why am I listening to this while alone at 2 a.m. in Crackhead Central?
No, we like meth. They like meth.
That's true. We're in Central New York. If you know what that means meth. But anyways, the hell were we talking about?
Well, we switched back to why we started podcast.
And for a decade I was doing well, now it's called the Reader's History of Comics, but I've been the comic archivist on YouTube for a decade now. The very first episode of First Issues I did was actually in 2014 or 2013. I can't remember when. For Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel #1 came out. That's the only reason I remember it. In my very first episode of that was also Ms. Marvel #1, which I liked, but it was just awkwardly a whitewashed version of the Static Shock origin story, except, with a Muslim, a Jersey Muslim as the lead. Pretty much she snuck out of her house, got gassed, became an Inhuman. Whereas in
Static, he was part of a...
He was part of a gang. Well, he wasn't part of the gang, but he was going to the gang... This gang rumble.
Yeah, something like that, if I remember rightly.
And then everyone there got gassed with Bang Baby juice. That's not what it was called, but they were called Bang Babies afterwards. But,
I remember, yeah.
But, so anyways, I started that. But I started that on YouTube. You know what I mean? So as much as I didn't start the podcasting... You know what I mean? It's so stupid to say out loud. I've been doing YouTube videos and writing reviews and doing all this on the,
where you could have been doing it.
I could have easily been doing it as a podcast and not be, because some things I still have only in script form because I don't know how I want to throw visuals up to it, which is actually why I started bringing back Reader's History of Comics in an audio-only format. Which, right now, I have the complete history of Catwoman and Guardians of the Galaxy. Next will probably be... I want to try a couple then and nows, but that's not this. This, I think we did bring it up in the very, when we did the why we do it the way we do it.
Yeah, but we didn't talk this way.
No, I was still manic from the Brutus episode when we were.
Yes, you were.
And it is true, like, but when it comes to the quickies, I like it because we can easily turn around and be like, for more information, check out this one, that one,
Yeah, if I find somebody, when it came to Raymond Lasser, I was hoping to find a way to make him less beige.
Right, something that's like the wiki.
Something I thought maybe Wikipedia was the problem.
In summary, it was a problem. But
yeah,
when you look into it, it was.
It was. Yeah, I was hoping that because
like they bring up that he's a pimp. Hey, that's a cool angle to.
Right, but that's as far as we get. Is that they don't really talk. Even the podcast didn't really talk about the
Right.
pimp angle. Okay, no problem. So, why did he do it? What was the reasoning behind it? Why was he this sick?
Right.
But that's where I was trying. I was trying not just to find a reason,
Yeah.
but something to make him less beige.
Bland. And that's really it. Is like, and it's why we have ideas for other bonus episodes. It'll be more targeted towards what we discuss. You know what I mean? Like cold cases, or the difference, like I did for the last one, the difference between a serial killer and a serial killer. Because there is this thing where it's like, well, why was he so sick? Well, it could just be environment.
Right.
Like that. To me, again, it's
but they didn't, his background is really unknown.
Yeah.
But comparing Wikipedia to Murderpedia, which I just did with Anthony Arkwright. There you go.
That's the first one for...
Notebook 3, which is Season 3.
She uses air quotes there. You can't see.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So each notebook is each season, because that makes the most amount of sense.
And that's what I like about us is that...
We do give the opportunity to go looking for more.
Well, that's exactly it. It's like... It's almost like how a friend of mine, Allison... Well, one, she hated the show when we started it because... Well, you listen to those first episodes.
You listen to those first 4 episodes. My first four scripts just sucked so much. We might redo those, where I actually could do it better. It might be our 1-year thing, where I just rewrite those 4 episodes.
See, I don't think that you wrote them badly. I think it was...
We were still trying to figure out where we were going.
Exactly. We're trying to find the voice of... Because, again, I love the tagline for this, and I came up with it, almost informative, criminally silly.
Yes.
Because, again, and this is all covered in my Meltdown episode.
You have 2 Meltdown episodes? Both of them are from Oregon.
Are they?
Yes.
Who was the other one? There was a Shoe Gremlin.
The Shoe Gremlin, and it's not in this notebook. It was part of season 1.
Was he the one that made me so bored?
No, you were so annoyed with him because he was the one that kidnapped the kid.
Oh, you're talking about the one from Oregon who kidnapped the mom and 2 kids from the car wash?
No, not that one. No, the one that killed the mom and the grandma, kidnapped the boy, and then proceeded to...
oh, yeah, because that's...
AJ has the trigger, and I realized that I try very hard not to write his triggers. One of the big things that I've noticed is that I have a trigger. I won't write about people who kill kids, just where they kill kids, pure, where that's their only victims. I can't do it. I just can't. You know, the ABC murders was hard, but thankfully, you know, for the amount of time I've listened and learned about those, yeah, I've got, you know, time on my hands for that. But yes, mine's infanticide.
Well, that, yeah. And yes, sometimes we cover where it's like even the last one we just did, not Lasser. No, it was Lasser. His last victim was a
14-year-old girl, yeah.
And the thing is that doesn't necessarily trigger me. Like, I don't like it, but it's like when it's the 7 or the 8-year-old.
Right.
When it's, and you can look at it as because I have kids, you know, so it's a feeling on that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't like talking about them, similar to why you don't. Or at least for me, it's acknowledging and not necessarily glorifying, but it's still giving that.
You're giving a little bit more infamy to.
Yeah, a reputation. It's a matter of.
I realized it when I was writing Arkwright. It only took 3 notebooks before I realized that, you know, why I don't like doing it.
Right.
But it took me 3 notebooks.
Well, that's because, and this is something that I learned writing both, you know, reader's history and even RSR. When you're in writer mode, it is very easy to disconnect.
Yes. And
where it is just words on a screen or words on a page. Similar to, if you notice, sometimes there will be times where in our show, when I'm talking, I just drop into my very bad Walter Cronkite, Robert Stackhouse impression, and I just continue talking and talking and talking. Most of the time, the reason I'm doing that is because it's something I don't want to talk about, or I'm disassociating, essentially. A bad example, but you know what I mean? So it's like, it's very easy, and it's actually why I don't mind when because if you notice in the first 4, and you know, this is us just doing, hey, we've done like 30 episodes now.
we have done 30 episodes. 2 of them are bonus episodes.
Yeah.
So
we've done over 24 episode season. We've done 2 notebooks worth. Well, we'll continue doing this notebook.
Yeah, we're about halfway through this notebook because there's one.
Yeah, we're at like page 40 something.
Yeah.
But anyways, where even when I was trying to be silly, like I would stay in this voice and do all that, you know? But then I realized, and this is where you can see where we've changed drastically from our first few episodes, where I will drop that when I want to just have a, you know,
normal conversation.
Where I'm making a joke or something like that, because it allows for a reconnect to being a person. As stupid as that's a bad way of saying it, but it allows both the audience to know, now we're not talking about this. Now we're kind of just chilling.
Right.
You know, and obviously when I do my sillier voices, it's silly. But it allows, and similar to the discussion, if I remember rightly, I did try doing this voice for the discussions originally. You know.
Yeah, it didn't work out that well for us.
Because, especially when it's unscripted, going like this really doesn't, because a lot of people don't know this. I don't know why I'm saying it here, because any of our listeners don't really know. Or they will know. Is that I do have a stuttering issue.
Me too.
But when I do put on a voice, or when I do have a goal in mind, I'm able to disconnect from it being, you know what I mean? It's almost, it's anyways.
It's kind of like Colin Firth in The King's Speech, where they put the headphones on him, and when he's talking into the recording, he's not stuttering at all.
Right, and that's sort of it. Is the second instead of it being free form, free thought. It's why I have a golden rule. I do have several, off the cuff rants on the Comic Archivist, or even the episodes of Behind the Static we did. We only did a couple. We were doing a behind the scenes podcast, sort of like this for Retro Static Radio, and I noticed that there's times where I do stutter through, but if I'm focused on it being a performance,
Yes.
then my brain can disconnect enough, I think is the best way it's not disconnected, but I can overcome it if I'm thinking of it more as a performance thing over being me.
Yes.
But then again, my therapist has said that I do that a lot, and I need to stop being performative in my everyday life to get through my day. So, take that with whatever you want to talk about. But anyway, so that's why, so that's what I really like. We've grown a lot.
We have grown.
And I think everyone at home should definitely say bravo to you, because your script writing has changed so much. And I think it might be because those first couple, I rag on you so hard, and I feel so bad re-listening to them.
No,
Some
I've
of them are
reread them.
funny.
I've looked compared to now, and I reread them. Went back through just to look
Yeah.
to see who we've done before. Who
Right,
we've done.
Yeah. That's why you added the table of contents into the new...
That's why there's a table of contents now, and they're numbered. The new notebook has it where it goes page 1. The newest notebook, instead of just being page 1, it starts on page 1 through 6.
Oh, that actually is great.
That's why I started thinking. I gotta make it work for me. But I was rereading those scripts, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we put these on air."
Yeah, and again, re-listening to the episode, I am so sorry that I realized, and I think it's, again, this is what a few people brought up in our early episodes, like Megan, again, love her as a producer. She had no idea what the fuck we were doing.
Neither did we.
Well, that's sort of it. It's like, what was it, my favorite of our reviews.
We
They sound drunk and unprepared.
I'm sorry.
And I think I brought that up in like 4 different episodes where I'm like, she's drunk and I am unprepared.
And trying to explain, I thought I had it pretty much explained in the beginning with this is a roughly written script.
Well, that is one of the things, and I think it's because, and I bring this up in the our first bonus with why we do what we do and the absurdism that is good serial killers. I shouldn't have said that soundbite.
No.
But interesting serial killers.
Yes.
Okay, it's like Lasser. Yes, he's a serial killer insofar as he's a serial killer, but he's nowhere close to being Brutus, or even the rando who only killed like 2 people, but he had a full fucking mask.
The highway killer.
One
dude.
of the highway killers.
Adam Lane. His name is Adam Lane. I had to look it up.
All right, I think I make the joke that
Because we could tell you everything about this guy.
I can never remember his name.
Well, yeah.
But that's because he was a performative serial. He got himself the leather mask. He wanted to be, a big name. He wanted to be one of the notorious. He wanted to be. He wanted to be a big boy, but he did not have the psychosis to be a big boy.
No, he
It's
got caught.
longevity that gets you serial killing, not spree killings. You have to be really good and theatrical. No one would give a fuck about the Zodiac Killer if he was still just the Lover Lane shooter.
No.
I mean, he still would probably be, again, like the Heartbreak Killer, or the Broken Heart Killer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where, yeah, people who know true crimes will know him. But if you ask the casual on the street, hey, do you know who the Heartbreak Killer, or the Broken Hearts, Lonely Hearts Killer?
There's Lonely Hearts Killers, there's Broken Hearts Killers. I just did one. I'm looking up one now where she was considered a Black Widow.
But you know what I mean? It's one of those where...
But they also call her the Lonely Hearts Killer, too.
Right. What the hell was I saying?
We're back to absurdity and interesting serial
before
killer.
that, it was, I brought it up in the absurdity and all that, where I think the big reason that a lot of people had no idea, and even we didn't know what we were doing at the start, is because this is a newer format. I mean, it's not, we aren't the first people to do this.
But to us, it is new.
And there's a lot of chill and talk sort of podcasts.
But I
But
didn't...
Chilluminati may make some jokes.
Yep.
But they don't talk about really hard pressed stuff. Their Dahmer episodes are really good, though. Have you listened to them?
I've listened to the Dahmer episodes. I am...
But there's always even with them, they chill out and talk.
Right.
But they do still have a professionalism to them where it's like,
And
they'll say, oh man, that was a sick motherfucker. But, again, we are criminally silly on this.
we try very hard
We
to
are
make it...
15-minute bursts of, hey, did this guy spark your interest? Cool. Go check him out for the legitimate people.
For at least, because I found Crime Junkies when looking for the Boys on the Tracks.
Right.
And from Crime Junkie, I have gotten a lot of things through their networks.
Yeah.
The other one the other one that I still listen to.
Small Town Dicks.
No, they haven't done anything on the Boys on the Tracks.
Oh yeah. Well.
But I listen to Small Town Dicks. But for My Favorite Murder was the other one, because they had an episode on it.
Right.
And I still listen to them, but I wanted it where it gave you the information, and any talking we did was about that case, and then we go, that if you try to keep it under 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have 20-minute episodes, but some of them are funny as fuck, and I just can't bring myself to, edit out major parts of it. Thuggy, I should have just... You're right, I should have, I should have.
I think what I don't like about the Thuggy episode, it's not even so much that, you have, little to no information. You have basic information. Strangled them with a ligature that had a medallion. Yeah. That's cool. But I think it's because even the information on that is sparse.
Yes.
I'm sure there's probably several people who have had books about it. You know what I mean? It seems like one of those things that...
Somebody had to have looked into this guy at some point.
Deeply, yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't able to find anything outside of one book.
Right. And that's where it turns into, okay, so now I have to vamp for fucking 10 minutes. And I think that's what I don't like about it, is that I feel that our discussions, I love our discussion sections more than kind of the true crime section, if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
The information section at the beginning.
Right.
I like it as a jumping on point for our discussion sections.
Yes.
The problem that I have with the Thuggy one is that there's so little meat
that we can't make...
you can tell how much I'm trying to grab something out of my ass. It's not even out of the ether. It's just like... and there's some episodes that are like that, but usually it's... And I do, again, want to state this for the record. We are not anti-cop.
Yes, we are not anti-cops. We are actually very much pro-police.
I'm not even going to say that.
I won't say pro-police. I at least believe that there are good cops out there that actually do their jobs. Now, this could be said for any profession. There are bad people out there. Do I believe that there are all cops? No. Do I believe that there are bad cops out there? Yes.
We've had several of them.
Yes. But there's still a point where there are still good cops out there that do their jobs.
And a big issue that needs to be addressed is that a lot of bad cops don't get punished for being bad cops.
No.
And that's where I think a lot of people have the ACAB mentality. Because even a good, and this is something that a lot of people try and gloss over, good cops get hurt by bad cops for trying to be good cops.
Yes.
So, but you can, it's sort of like U.S. history. You can't look into U.S. history without talking about slavery, without talking about the bad that America has done.
Correct.
You can't look into murders, especially on a long-term level. Like, you can look at one murder case and be like, oh, the cops did everything they could. Like, oh, what the hell was his name? Laudenberg.
We just did him.
Yeah, by the way, clearly this was recorded right after the Laudenberg one. But we just covered him. You know, in the 70s, literally his daughter-in-law went to cops. Hey, he just told me that he killed 4 people. You know, he's a serial killer. He has done this. And at the time,
California...
so far, Californian cops did nothing. I mean, they could have done some background stuff, but for the most part, they really did nothing.
No.
You know, they didn't reopen investigation. They didn't follow up to see so much that we know of. I'm stating that now. But at the same time, it's like, and I bring up this for like every time I try and go, look, we are not hating on all cops for not because there's another thing that we may bring up, like, you know, not the Honolulu Strangler, but
Eugene Barrett.
You know, the judicial system fucked up.
Yes.
There's several of our cases where it is, wow, the judicial system absolutely fucked up. You know, or there's the governor pardon, that was also Barrett, wasn't it?
Yep.
You know, that is fucked up. But we also do try and point out that on paper, I could totally see why, you know, a governor would go, fuck it, pardon him. I could see why, you know, the cops wouldn't look in the back of Dahmer's in the trash bags. That would be a violation of his rights.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we can't have our cake and eat it too when it comes to, you know,
hindsight.
Hindsight, but in dealing with the mentality towards police. A lot of people will be like, oh my God, why didn't they do that? Most of the time it's because of the red tape that surrounds that statement. You know what I mean? It is a violation of his rights. Now, do they violate rights all the time? Yes! However, that should not be what is expected or wanted. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
It's the OSHA thing.
Yes.
On books, this is what OSHA says has to happen on a construction site. Now, here's the actual book of what happens here's the OSHA way you're supposed to do it, but here's how we do it.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because, yes, you know, there is the violate, you know, hey, wear a hard hat at a construction site. I've been building sheds for a while and rarely wear a hard hat. Dad's cracked his head open on just
couple of occasions now
on a 2x4 that was, you know, being built up for a wall because he didn't have a hard hat on.
Now we understand why you need to wear a hard hat.
We understand the why of it, but that doesn't mean that it happens. However, you shouldn't go into OSHA or you shouldn't go into a police, you know, expecting or hoping, not even expecting. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. You know what I mean? But you shouldn't enter into a discussion about police and be like, well, they should have violated that guy's rights. Because no. Because the second you start normalizing violating rights, or you normalize drunk driving, you normalize bad behavior, then you have lost any high ground to be like, that's bad behavior. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when we call out, you know, it's like, and the cops fucked up again. Like, fucking I'm covered in cow's blood.
Richard Chase.
Okay?
The fact that I remember these guys based
See,
on those.
And that's where I'll be like, no, the cops fucked up on that one. Because it wouldn't have violated his rights to be like, sir, you're covered in blood, come with us.
Right.
Well, it's cow's blood. Oh, go home, you're fine. No, because they had every probable cause to be like, why the fuck are you covered in blood, period? Whether it's cow, whether it's human, whether it's the donkey, whether it's fake blood, even if you're running down the street covered in fucking corn syrup and food dye. That is a logical stance for a cop to be like, I pump your brakes, what the fuck? And then you can be like, oh, I'm covered in fake blood because of this. You don't believe me? You know, let me call someone who I was just on the set with. Or, you know what I mean?
Right.
There's ways to be like, but that's where we can get into, well, you know, what's probable cause and shit like that.
Which is something we're
I
not
will
going to
tell
get.
you right now, I will die on the hill, and I will take the hill with me, that being covered in blood, any fucking blood,
It's probable
is
cause.
probable goddamn cause for a cop to stop you for more than 5 minutes. Okay? Now, I know that's a controversial statement. Because no one wants to be stopped by a cop for more than 5 minutes. Especially if you're covered in blood. But guess what? Sometimes those are the people who do need to be. But, again, it's... like, that's why I always put a caveat most of the time in every episode we do where it's like, we are not anti-cop, but this was fucking stupid.
Right.
Or we are not anti-law, but this was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because, and, you know, it really does boil down to that. We aren't anti-cop.
Okay, wrap it up. We've hit an hour.
We're just going to cut out the entirety of this whole ACAB thing.
Are you telling me to do that?
I don't fucking know. I'm pissed off now is what I am. I've made myself angry.
All right. What do you say to the nice people? Later, y'all.
Wheel of Random is turn, turn, turn. Tell us the 15 minutes we shall learn.
I'm Sam Rossi, writer and co-host of Randomly 15 Minutes, where the wheel of randomness gives me the topic and I write about it.
I'm Megan Klodnicki, and I'm the host of Randomly 15 Minutes. I cold read what Sam writes and learn in real time about a random topic.
You can find us on all major podcast platforms and YouTube.
Follow us on Facebook at Randomly 15 Minutes to get more random facts.